Hey everyone, hope you're doing really well and enjoying your day. Today I want to go ahead and talk about an important topic that actually comes up a lot with students and parents. And that topic is, what do you do if your child is showing less interest or not as much interest in music lessons or in the instrument that they're involved with? And so I've got about 7 different points that I think are going to be helpful for you as a parent or as an adult student to help you navigate through that time or that season with your student and with your child. And so I want to let you know before I go through those 7 things that really someone not being interested in an instrument or not being interested in music can happen so often, and it's actually very, very common. It's actually very normal, and you are definitely not alone if you're experiencing that yourself as an adult student or as a parent of a child. And so, first off, I want to let you know that if your child is seeming, less interested, you kind of see the body language when they go to the lessons. They don't want to practice as much. They're not excited to go to performances, things like that. I want to first off let you know that not necessarily is it going to be the case that one size is going to fit all. If you've got one student where they're having some challenges, but then there's a solution that comes up that helps them, that same solution may not be the solution for your second child or your third child. And so I want to let you know that, every child is unique, and you know that as a parent, but every child is unique and it's going to be different for every child. And there's so many factors that can affect them in life that it's often something different that will go ahead and help them. So I just want to let you know to be open-minded to the different types of approaches that can be helpful for them. Secondly, I want to let you know that seasons are obviously a normalcy with children's lives, and you know that as a parent. You know that 1 month the child is feeling great because of these things going on, and then the next month maybe they have a tough time because of relationships that are happening at school, or a tough subject in school, or maybe something going on with sports, or maybe something going on with drama, or maybe there's 1 month where they're just extra tired because they're going through a growth spurt, or whatever it is. There's so many different factors that can affect a child, and so there will be some seasons where they're really excited and passionate about the instrument, and some seasons where they're not as excited. And so I want to let you know just that the reality of seasons, the reality of ups and downs that you see in your child's life in general, is actually something that is very normal with how passionate or excited they will be about an instrument. And so I personally have a hard time finding a seasoned musician who can say that through all of their childhood and through all their life that they were always 100% passionate about an instrument. Whether it be me, whether it be some of our teachers here, whether it be touring professionals. I consistently meet people that say that they had some tough seasons or some down seasons. We have one teacher here that is very good at what they do, but they used to hide under the bed to avoid playing and practicing at home when they were a kid at times. It's pretty crazy, but you know what? That's what that teacher had experienced. But now they're very good at their instrument, and they're very good as a teacher. There were times where I didn't want to play as much or didn't want to practice as much, yet I own a music school and have been able to invest in a lot of children's lives through music. And so just want to let you know that there are going to be ups and downs, and that's okay. So now let's talk about some different approaches that can help a student go from being less engaged to being more engaged with an instrument. And so the first thing that I want to say is that a change in approach, or a change in lesson approach, can actually be something that can really help a child. So let's just say the child is in lessons and the teacher focuses on this much theory and fundamentals, and then this much music, and then this much of something else, and sometimes changing the proportion of what they focus on. Maybe they need to do more theory and more technical stuff, and that actually could engage your child, or maybe they need to do a lot less theory and a lot less fundamentals, and that's going to be something that can go ahead and engage your child and get them interested. Sometimes it's just going to be different for everybody, but there's a lot of different ways where teachers can change approaches to how they approach lessons that can really change the landscape for how interested your child is in lessons. And so the next thing that can go ahead and change is actually going to be the change in styles or songs, or just the type of music that they're playing. Sometimes they're focusing more on, let's say, rock or pop, and they've really been enjoying that for a while. But then after a couple of years, they're ready for something different. Maybe they get interested in jazz. Maybe they get interested in country. Maybe they get interested in playing classical music on the electric guitar or the bass guitar, or something else like that. Or maybe it's different. Maybe they have been playing violin for years and they've been playing a lot of classical music on that. But maybe they start finding that they want to change. They want to do something unique. They want to focus a little bit more on maybe playing some rock songs on the violin, or they want to, play some more pop songs on the violin or something else like that. And so I want to let you know that a lot of times just changing the songs and the styles make a massive difference. And so, I had one student come in to work with me who had been working with a different teacher. They came in and just took some more time to hear what she was thinking about, what she'd experienced before and what she wanted to do. And as we realized what she wanted to do, we noticed that we just needed to shift directions with some of the songs that she was playing. We did that, and instantly she goes home, and her mom calls us or lets us know later on that she instantly went home and began practicing right away, right when she got home, because she was so excited about the change in stylistic direction in the songs that she was working on. And so that can be a huge thing that can help a child. Another thing that can really be helpful for a child getting engaged again is actually playing in one of our rock shows or a concert, or anyone's rock shows or concerts, doesn't matter who it is, but playing in some sort of performance. And so that may seem a little bit counterintuitive because sometimes students are nervous about that. They don't feel excited to want to be in it. They're a little afraid to be in it. But here's what happens. Here's what I found. So I've been teaching over 20 years now. And then obviously when I was a kid, I had played in different concerts and things like that. But one thing I've found over the past 2 decades as I've been teaching has been the same kids that will be a little bit nervous or tentative or not as interested in playing or not as interested or maybe they're feeling a lag or not as interested in being in a concert. We do a concert. We do one of these rock shows because I teach guitar and bass and drums. We do one of these rock shows. All of a sudden they have a good experience. And then instantly they're just more engaged. They want to keep coming back to lessons. They have a higher desire to be in lessons, and they have a higher desire to succeed and learn something new at their instrument. And it literally comes from a simple 3 to 5 minute song that they play in front of others at that performance. And so I want to let you know that it really, really is a very, very powerful thing. It's a very, very impactful thing when students have concerts and rock shows. That's why for me at this school, we just make it one of the staples of what we do here at the school, making sure students can perform twice a year so they can show off their abilities, but also because it helps them stay engaged and become re-engaged if they've become kind of unengaged a little bit. So those performances, so never underestimate how important those performances are. They are really, really important for a child. So the next thing that can help a child get re-engaged is sometimes actually a change of instrument. Sometimes you've tried first you try the songs or the styles change, maybe you try the approach change, maybe you've been in the performances as well, but for some reason those things aren't clicking, and maybe it's time to think about, do they want to do a different instrument? I've had multiple students come into me and they're playing acoustic guitar, but we find out that they really, really want to play electric guitar, and so we shift them to electric guitar, and all of a sudden, boom, they are as excited as they can be. They're really looking forward to what's going to be coming up next with their lessons because they're learning something new and they're excited about the instrument changes. Sometimes someone needs to move from guitar and go to violin or go to piano. Sometimes they need to move from violin and go to trumpet. Sometimes they need to go from trumpet and move to piano or something else like that. A lot of times, just that change in instrument will give the child a new, fresh challenge to go ahead and conquer, but also something new that they really get excited about. Because again, every child is different. You may have one child in the family that really likes rock music and another child in the family that really, really loves classical music and wants to be a wonderful classical trumpet player. And I've experienced that myself as well. Both I teach music lessons as well as my sister teaches music lessons, and she has a master's degree in music. I tend to really like rock music and pop music and playing electric guitar and bass guitar in bands, whereas she's more of a classical and operatic style vocalist, and she really enjoys musical theater and classical music and opera music with how she approaches things, and that's normal. So just want to let you know that within families and with kids, the change of an instrument and what they do with that really can make an impact on that. And then the last thing is, this is definitely a small percentage, pretty small percentage of people that need this, but every once in a while, there are teachers who are really good. And there's students who are interested in learning. But for some reason, maybe after a year or two, it's just time to go ahead and make a shift. Maybe they've been together 5 years, they've worked together really well, and it's maybe time to make a shift. Or maybe it's only been 3 months or 6 months, and it's time to make a shift. And all of a sudden, the child can go and switch to another qualified or competent teacher. Doesn't mean the first one wasn't competent, just means that maybe it's time to make a shift, and all of a sudden, that can then help the child go to the next level they need to go to, and the next stage that they need to go to. And so there have been some times where for me as a teacher, even though I'm experienced and been doing this a while and seen a lot of success, there are some times where I go, you know what? you're really great at drums, but I think you would benefit by moving to this teacher and doing this thing. And we make the change, make the shift, and boom, it just helps the student go to that next level. It doesn't mean that I had anything wrong with me. It's just I felt like it was time to make a little bit of a shift. And there's also times where other people, it's just not clicking with that teacher and the student. They come, they work with me, and bam, the child is ready to go. The communication style really works with us, and we're on the same page, and we're going in the right direction. So I want to let you know that's another thing that can work, even though I think that's generally a pretty small minority percentage that needs to happen, or that needs to change a teacher. But all that being said, I hope this was helpful for you. But if you have any other questions or any follow-up questions, go ahead and get in contact with your office. They can connect you with me. I'm really happy to help. I've seen a lot of different circumstances arising with kids losing interest for different reasons, and been able to go ahead and have a conversation with the parent and the student to go ahead and help make necessary changes so that they can go ahead and succeed. And so I'm really happy to help to go ahead and make that process easy and simple and smooth. And so get in contact with us. I'm happy to talk with you. Other than that, have a great day, and enjoy the weather out there. Bye.